Hi, we all talk about information. No matter in what field we are working, we always talk about information and its process, the processing of information. Information of various types may be related to people, related to market, related to science, related to technology, astronomy, or for that matter, every concept of engineering and science. We talk about information nowadays. And to a strange and to my surprise, what I could see is there is a connection of information to a fundamental concept of thermodynamics. And I would like to talk about that simple concept of information in my video this time. And before that, I request all of you to subscribe my channel, like, and give your suggestions to further improve the topics, the presentation. And I thank you for such advices. Right, now right away into the subject. Yeah, if you look at the figure, you see two chambers, right? Chamber A, B, and there is gas in one chamber and there is nothing, or the second chamber is vacuum. And gas is having certain pressure, assuming it is having certain pressure in that particular chamber. And if there is a tap, you can see that, and if it is opened, because of the other chamber is vacuum, the gas obviously expands and it occupies total chamber. Thereby, if you assume volume to be doubled, pressure gets decreased. This is a simple example of, we call it as Joule's expansion. It's a Joule's expansion experimentation. And in this chamber, if you consider, the process is irreversible. I mean, once we open the tap, we can't reverse we can't make it happen that the gas in chamber where it is expanding or expanded to both sides can be again made into single chamber. That's not simply possible. So that's where irreversibility comes, and we all study about irreversibility in thermodynamics. But what Maxwell thought of, he created a kind of a thought process. We call it as thought experiments. In that thought experiment, Maxwell explained or assumed there is a demon sitting at the place of a tap, and it operates in this way. Which way? If the molecule from this side, that is from the chamber B, is heading towards the tap, then the demon operates and it opens the tap, right? And it it allows the particle to enter into the chamber A and it immediately closes, thereby letting the molecule getting accumulated into chamber A, and the process continues. The purpose of demon sitting on the tap or at the door is to find out the details of the molecule, with what velocity is coming and where it is going to hit, and if it is possibly going to hit the door, then open it, and it will not allow the molecule from the chamber A to enter into the chamber B. That's again another task of it. So it has to identify, it has to have all that details with it, and allow each molecule to go back, make it reversible, and finally end up one part of the chamber, maybe chamber B, vacuum. This is what is Maxwell's thought experiment. So what he assumed, I would like to present to you right in a simple figure. Let us say there is a chamber like that, a simple chamber, right? And there is a partition, I assume that to be a partition there, and I have a door maybe like that, and it has to be operated by a demon sitting there, right? And it handles, this is a Maxwell, we call it as Maxwell demon. So what this Maxwell demon is going to do, initially the case was, it was closed and there are molecules inside, right? There are molecules inside. I mean, there is a pressure due to the presence of air or gas there inside, right? And once the door is open, this is chamber A, let us assume, and this is chamber B, or in a chamber, both sections. Now, the moment we open the door or the tap, the pressure is distributed and we can't reverse it. It just cannot happen that by chance, probably, each molecule finds a way to get into it and have the closed chamber with that same initial pressure. It's not possible, even by probability. So the thought experiment of Maxwell was that now as the gas got equal distributed, now the pressure on both sides of the wall are is same, something like that. Now pressure is same. Now let us say the demon observes this particular molecule, and let's say it is heading towards the door, and it definitely is going to touch the door, and at that particular time all these molecules are heading away. Let's say they are no way coming to the door, towards the door, then obviously this molecule is going to enter into that, and immediately the demon closes the door. The next minute, demon closes the door. So this continuous operation of Maxwell's demon is going to make pressure of chamber A initial condition. There is a vacuum on side B of the chamber, or B chamber is vacuum, A chamber is having a certain pressure, and because of the door is open, now pressure is equally distributed, and now the initial condition should have come if Maxwell demon operates. That is how his thought experiment was. Now from there, which is one of the fundamental thought experiment of Maxwell, the very idea of information began. How? Demon should know the information about the particle, or for that matter all particles, and that has to process the information to make it happen, which is against to the second law of thermodynamics. But from there the concept of information came, because it cannot, entropically if you speak, the negative entropy or the entropy cannot decrease. It can be zero, change in entropy can be zero, but it can be more than zero. Entropy cannot decrease. Entropy has to increase. Entropy of the universe has to always increase. So the process of having reversible thing is not possible. But if you have the information, processing of the information, then it can go like this, and concept of entropy is getting disproved there. But there is another argument that the demon processes the information is obviously raising the entropy of the brain of the demon, and thereby if you sum every entropy involved, then you end up always with a rise of entropy, and thermodynamic second law cannot be violated. That's the concept. So thank you very much. Keep watching.